Lord willing, on tomorrow I want to do such and such. You ought to have a list prepared of the things that you want to accomplish.
Yes.
You got to have a plan. Right? I mean, we just can't just live our life recklessly with not some type of structure. Sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference. Careful planning is thinking ahead about goals, steps and schedules, and trusting in God's guidance. Not our guidance, but God's guidance. When done well, planning can help alleviate worry. When done well, planning can help alleviate worry. A lot of times we postpone doing things that we know we should be doing because we don't want to do it.
Right.
We can do it, but we don't do it because it's easy for us to postpone it and say, well, I'll do it another time. And just like we can have a car that's breaking down on us, but as long as it's moving us from where we at to where we want to go, we won't stop long enough to get that minor thing repaired.
Right,
it's not until the car breaks completely down. And now it's not moving, and we got to hustle. I heard somebody talking about catching an MTA tonight. I think it was. MTA, you know, call people, right? And you know how sometimes people can be. They may not feel like riding you around. Right? It's not until our vehicle comes to a complete halt that we say, I need to do something about this contraption that I have.
You're right about it.
So we need to plan. The warrior, by contrast, is consumed by fear and finds it difficult to trust God. I know, Saint, that we trust God more, we wouldn't be worried as much as we do.
You're right about it. You're right. Amen.
I was with some of my friends this weekend, and I graduated from high school 40 years ago, and I haven't seen them since 1972. And they was looking me over, and they said, Jerry, you look the same, without saying everybody else looked different. They peered at me real hard. They said, you don't have no gray hair in your head. I'm about the same size that I was 40 years ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I give God the credit for that.
Yes.
And another thing is, I trust God.
That's right. Go ahead.
That's right. I trust God.
Right.
I don't worry about things, right, that's out of my control. But I trust God for it. I mean, that's just the way I am. I believe that if God wants me to have it, He's going to give it to me. And I'm not going to use that excuse that we like reaching out and grabbing sometimes because we don't do what we're supposed to do. We say, well, it must not have been the Lord's will. Not necessarily. Might have just been slothfulness on your behalf.
You're right about it.
Just because you miss out on an opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't God's will. It could have meant that you just didn't get up and go after it when you're supposed to. But some opportunities don't come back around a second time. You got to move when you can. I remember Dad telling us how he was out one day in the park and he saw a woman and a young lady in a swing. Well, his friend saw her too. But before his friend can take off and run in her direction, he stopped him. He said, no. He said, I'm going up to the swing. You stay right here. He saw an opportunity that he couldn't let go by. And y'all know the rest is history. So sometimes there's opportunities that we let pass by because we're slowful in the way we handle business. Everybody ain't slowful. See, some people even take care of business, and then we get irritated with the people who believe in moving it on. You say, you pressuring me. Don't rush me. But there's a flip side of that. Maybe you just dragging your feet. And I don't believe in dragging my feet, especially when it comes to taking care of business. I don't have no problem praying on it. I'll sleep on it, but I'm not going to sleep on it for 7 days.
Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
Amen, Pastor.
I have a sibling. Every time you go to her and ask her things, she said, well, I'll get back with you. I say, no, you can't get back with me. I need to know now. Right? I can see if I was asking you to pay this parking lot. And you say, I need more time to think about it. Right? But if I'm asking you something simple, I don't want to wait till next week to get an answer from you. I want it now.
That's right.
The man, Pastor.
So there's a difference between taking care of business, right, and just dragging their feet. Some of us are business people. We believe in keeping it moving.
You're right.
And some of us believe as long as we can store it away and not have to do it, we'll do it. And how many of y'all know the longer you take doing about something that's got to be done, the more it's going to compound itself.
Right.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going
It's
nowhere.
going to stay right there. You ain't got to clean your house today, but you're going to have to clean it sometime.
You better clean it. Nasty house.
You right.
The worrier lets his plans interfere with his relationship with God. Because see, you can't really enjoy God and always worrying. Can't do it. Fretting, right? Always upset about the least little thing. You can't enjoy God like that. But don't let worries about tomorrow affect your relationship with God on today. I'm going to talk about it something. You need to get to living. Right? I heard Cameron E's testimony. Yes, sir. Right? When I pulled up, I saw that black CTS out there on the parking lot. And I know I wasn't driving. And I know where he normally parks. So I said, that must be the car. And you know what, saints? I was glad for him.
Me too, Pastor.
Amen.
The Bible teaches us, and I just quoted it, rejoice
with them that do rejoice.
With them that do rejoice. And it says, weep with them that weep. So we ought to be happy for the next person's blessing.
Right.
The book says in St. John in 5:1, and there was a feast of the Jews. And Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Can I talk to y'all tonight?
Go ahead.
The Jews had 3 feasts every year. The feast of the Passover, the feast of the weeks, also called a Pentecost, and you know about that one, and the feast of the tabernacle. So this was one of those times when all the nations came together. And the Bible said Jesus went up to Jerusalem. He didn't go down, but he went up. Can I talk? I wish I had time.
You got time, Pastor.
Saying it's time out for us having this mentality that anything will be just fine.
That's right.
I'm going to say something right here. I looked over the crowd Sunday morning and I counted 3 ladies in white dresses. What happened to the days when all of us were, when all y'all were white?
Amen. You got it. That's right.
And what's happening is where it used to, where you would stand out if you didn't wear white, is now more of you are not wearing white, so you stand out if you do wear white.
Go ahead, Pastor.
But see, somebody,
go ahead.
and I got to be the one to talk about it because ain't nobody challenging
I
it.
don't mind telling you.
See, if we're not challenged to improve, we're going to keep digressing.
Preach the word, Pastor.
See, I don't mind challenging. Right? See, we can't just settle for anything. Because you know what? Like Dr. Gibbons said, we're going to go out in the world backwards. But the things that we started, we got to keep doing. Because the Bible said, remove not the old ancient landmark. That's the same way I feel about it. I feel we ought to practice perfection.
Yes, sir.
That's the way I feel. And I think it's time out there. In fact, some of us leave out of the house, we got mismatched socks on, right? But we feel, well, ain't nobody gonna notice it. Huh? Sometimes we know we don't have it all together when we leave, right? But it doesn't bother us because we've gotten used to not having it all together.